Today, I'm at Miller Motor Cars in Greenwich, Connecticut to check out the incredible Pagani Zonda Revolution, in addition to the other cool cars they have here. So, let's go check them out. So let's first take a look at what's downstairs in the Ferrari showroom. So just like the last time I came here, we've got the F50 and the F1 car, but what's new is this gorgeous Giallo Triplo Strato 458 Speciale with blue accents, blue Nart with Bianco Avis, and you've got blue Nart painted in the front here, as well as blue Nart painted mirrors. This piece on the side is also painted in blue Nart, and you've got more blue Nart paint on the spoiler here, as well as on the rear diffuser, so there's definitely no shortage of that beautiful blue paint. You've got the 4.5 liter naturally aspirated V8 right there with that glossy carbon fiber goodness. The engine makes 597 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Next to this Speciale, we've got the black Carrera GT, which is always a treat to see. Just look at this thing. It's so sinister in this spec. These four V12 Ferraris here are pretty incredible. Let's start with this one. It's painted in a metallic gray. It could be Grigio Silverstone, but it kind of looks like Hanna de Fusil. And this one has the painted Scuderia shields, an option I absolutely love. It's an expensive option, upwards of $14,000. But what's even more special about this one is that it has red tinted carbon fiber. That is crazy. You barely notice it though. I had to look really close to even notice it. So it makes you wonder, is it worth the money? Next to it, we've got another 812 GTS. This one painted in Sanu Silver, which is a really rare, super metallic-y silver. It's just explosive under the light. It's a really cool color. But what's even cooler about this build is that it has denim on the interior. This is a tailor-made build. Of course, you can't get denim in your Ferrari from the factory without having it be tailor-made. Got the tailor-made badge in the middle right there. Definitely an expensive build, and I'd love to know what you guys think of this. Would you get denim in your Ferrari? And then we've got a third 812 GTS. This one painted in Verde British, which is a solid dark green. It looks great on this car. And of course, you can't have green paint without having a tan interior. This car has the comfort seats with black stitching. Really nice spec. And lastly, we've got the F12 Berlinetta in blue Tour de France with a tan interior and the carbon fiber racing seats. I'd love to know, out of these four V12 Ferraris, which one you guys would take. For me, the choice is clear. As much as I love blue, I prefer the 812 GTS over the F12 Berlinetta, and this green over tan spec is just unbeaten compared to the other two. So now we're inside the McLaren showroom with a very special McLaren, an exposed carbon fiber 765LT Spider. McLaren is building just 765 examples of the 765LT Coupe and 765 examples of the 765LT Spider. And of those examples, I'd say less than 50 have an exposed carbon fiber body, so this is very rare to see. This one has orange brake calipers, as well as orange accents on the interior to give it a pop of color. You've got the sport seats, which are the most comfortable of the 3 seat options, and carbon fiber on the steering wheel. The back of the car has so much presence with all of this meshwork, the massive active rear wing, the quad exit exhaust system, and the sharp looking rear diffuser. Now let's take a look at the window sticker. So it starts at $382,500, but of course it's loaded with options, the most expensive one being the full carbon fiber body, which costs $153,570. That's crazy. The total price is just over $575,000, and the retail price isn't listed, but I'd say it's in the $700,000 to $800,000 range just because of how rare this car is. It's not often you see a full carbon McLaren, especially a full carbon Super Series McLaren, so take it all in. Also nice is this 720S Spider painted in a gorgeous new shade of blue called Volcano Blue, which costs just under $10,000. Check this out. The brand new Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica is here at Lamborghini Greenwich. This car starts at $239,000. It sits below the Huracan STO, but above the Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. It has the same amount of horsepower as the STO though, and that is 631 horsepower from the 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine. If you hear a dog barking, it's because the tow truck driver's dog. The Y-shaped piece at the front here makes it look like the Lamborghini Sian and the Terzo Millennio, which is really cool. And then if we come to the back, you've got a fixed rear wing and this all-new engine cover. It's practically flat, whereas on the other Huracans, it's slanted. And on the Huracan STO, you don't have glass back here at all, but on the Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive, you do. You've got a high-mounted exhaust. The exhaust tips are hexagons to keep with the Lamborghini design language, and you've got this aggressive-looking rear diffuser. It's a really cool car, very subtle spec, typical Connecticut spec. Finally, here's the Pagani Zonda Revolución, the car I came here to see. It's a truly wild and raw track-only race car that's as rare as it is special. There are only 5 Zonda Revolucions in the world, and this one is number 5 of 5, a car that was shown at the Geneva Motor Show in 2014 before spending its life with its owner in Japan. Pagani of Greenwich brought this car from Japan to the new owner in the United States. The new owner lives in California, but the car has been on display here in Connecticut for a few days now. So Pagani made 15 Zonda Rs, and then they made 5 Zonda Revolutions. The Revolución is wider, more powerful, and crazier than the standard car. It has an upgraded powertrain, a 6-liter V12 engine that makes 802 horsepower instead of the 750 horsepower that the Zonda R makes. The Revolución has more radical aero, as you can see with the snorkels, the chimneys, the aqueducts, and the massive multi-layered rear wing that has a gurney flap on it. The whole car is made of carbon fiber and it weighs under 2,400 pounds. It has a carbo titanium tub, a fixed roll cage, and bucket seats with harnesses. What's really unique is that the rev counter sits on the middle of the steering wheel, and that steering wheel is removable. So I'm sure you're curious about how to start this car. So the procedure to start: battery switch first, then power, then ignition, and then you fire it up. The entire rear clam of the car comes off. It's not hinged like on the road cars. For weight savings, you have plexiglass sliding windows. You also have an emergency switch, a tow hook at the front as well as one at the rear, and a socket for the hydraulic air jacks. This car came with the original Pagani Sparco race suit that was personalized for the first owner, along with a kids race suit, helmets, a spare wheel set, hydraulic jacks so you can lift it up at a pit stop, and other equipment. I'd love to know what you guys think of this car, because for me, it's one of my dream cars, and I'm so glad I got to see it here at Pagani of Greenwich. This car in itself is incredible, and add on this beautiful blue carbon fiber spec, and it's just perfection. Also in the showroom is this Bianco Benny 2017 Wyra Roadster, number 31 of 100 cars made. You've also got a Wyra BC under the cover there, and an exposed carbon fiber Wyra coupe all the way in the back there. What a work of art that thing is. I love how the red interior pops. It gives the car some much needed color. So that was my visit to Miller Motor Cars in Greenwich, Connecticut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.